sensor we're going to be using in the circuit is, we call it a light sensor. It's got a technical name as well. It's an analog sensor and it senses light. So if I put my finger on it, I'm blocking the light. And if I open it up, it's going to read the level of light in the room. So the technical name is light-dependent resistor. We just call it's an analog sensor, meaning that it fades. It has a range of numbers that go up and down, and we just call it a light sensor. You can call it whatever you want, but technically it's called a light-dependent resistor. If you want to boost the light, you can use a flashlight, or you could do you can use a laser pointer. That's a very concentrated light that you can shoot on it. So analog sensor, meaning that it's going to generate a range of values. It's going to be like it's going to give you a modulation, just like the potentiometer did. Same thing. The other component we're going to use is a 10K ohm resistor. And we looked at resistors, and there's a video about measuring resistance on the multimeter. 10K, 10,000 ohms of resistance. And we're going to build our circuit that looks like this. So let's do a breakdown of what's going on here. So you can see that I've got the red wire running from 5 volts, and the black wire is running into the ground pin. You can see it right there. So the ground is coming down, and it plugs into the breadboard here on the 2 rails. So that as soon as that 5 volts of power from the red wire runs into the breadboard, it means that power is running all the way along here. And then the other trick that is really good to do with the breadboard is you jump a wire from this side of the breadboard over to this side of the breadboard. And now we've got 5 volts of power running down this way as well. Same thing with the black ground wire. And now we've got ground running down this way. So if you look at the diagram, the fritzing diagram that's on GitHub, you can see there's the 10K ohm resistor, here's the photoresistor, the light resistor, and those are the only 2 components, but they're wired up in a way that makes a circuit. And there's different ways you can wire up the same circuit. One circuit diagram may not be wired up exactly the same as you see it in the circuit diagram, but it'll still work just fine. The other thing that you should think about is, for this one, I clipped off the resistor so it's lying flat on the breadboard. So if you have your components really flat, it's better. And then this one as well, I clipped it and I put it down flat because it works better. The wires are flat, everything is flat. The yellow wires are, we use yellow because then you can indicate that it's going to a pin on the Arduino. Okay, so it's really very simple color coding. Red for voltage, black for ground, and then yellow for wires that are going to the pins.